Hello, everyone, and today I'm pleased to introduce Jordan Lawrence, who is the CEO and co-founder of Damisa. Hello, how are you?
Very good, sir. Thanks for having me on the Fintech Garden.
And it's a pleasure to discuss various things with you, taking into account your experience with the Vault, and you stepped in and you built in Damisa. Like, what are the reasons for you to start a new business, and what you couldn't build in Vault for this case?
Yeah, so Vault, tremendous business. We're really focused on the fiat side of account-to-account payments, right? Quite early on, I was actually starting to build things on the stablecoins at Vault, and they do have a fantastic stablecoin product now. But what I was seeing was basically the shift from account-to-account on fiat to basically account-to-account on stablecoins, right? So I thought this was a future. Pretty sure this is still the future. So yeah, I thought I'd step out and build something completely new as all this financial infrastructure moves from fiat to stablecoin.
But I'm usually asking this question because it seems that the market is perceiving like there's a fiat and there is a blockchain. Is it going to merge? Because right now it feels that one cannot live without another. Because if you have digital assets, you need to have somehow the money in from fiat world and then kind of go back, because you might have Ethereum, but at the end of the day, you're settling in United States dollars, even though it might be smart contracts.
I mean, it's a great point, right? And everyone, I think, really overlooks this point when they say things like, you know, it's going to solve the unbanked problem in Africa. They still need the fiat to pay for things, right? So, yeah, I think it's a really good point, and you know that is happening. So I think regulation has to sort of unify from fiat into this, let's say, crypto, blockchain, stablecoin world. And when that regulation starts unifying, I think then mass adoption will happen, right? At the moment, there's still a few regulatory hurdles. People are changing regulations, like what just happened in Brazil, for example. And so I think as the regulators catch up with what's happening, everyone will get a lot more comfortable, and the two will flow quite happily.
That's a really good explanation. So let's wait until this moment when it's unifies, and we will catch up what is happening there. But the main question for me, what is your differentiator? Because there are a lot of companies who are building the new setup and stable coins for kind of cross-border transfers and stuff like that. So what do you think makes you different?
I think there's three main things that make Damisa stand out from the market. And A is the team. We've got an amazing team of, let's say, payments professionals. So I think there are still companies sort of jumping on the stablecoin bandwagon, which are doing a great job, but in a very specific market, right? We are targeting, let's say, PSPs, merchant in a specific ICP, and those are very traditional CFOs and treasury professionals, right? So being able to talk the language of payments is extremely handy. You know, you can abstract the whole crypto blockchain piece away and actually make them feel confident about this new payment method for them, you know, by abstracting the whole crypto piece. I think that's one of the things that's really interesting. We have the ability to make the transactions private on chain, which nobody else is talking about, but I think it's going to become a really big issue. So when you're dealing with, let's say, commodities brokers, import, export, selling enormous transactions cross-border, they don't want people to see what they don't want people to know what margins are making, blah, blah, blah. So the privacy piece is really interesting. And then we have a sort of escrow service on chain. So again, if you're importing and exporting physical goods, you know, between, let's say, Africa and Poland, just take one corridor we service, there's a bit of a lack of trust going on between two parties sometimes. They don't feel comfortable sending the physical goods to Ghana, and the Ghanese don't feel comfortable paying large sums of money to Poland and hoping for the best. So we kind of sit in the middle in like an escrow style service, holding the stable coins, generating yield until the transaction's complete, and then we pay out the stable coin, or we offer up the money to the seller. And I think that's a unique project as well.
Well said and well formed. And it slides us into the third question, because usually I would say the stable coins, they trying to focus on the financial services, as you said, CFOs, but coming to other niche markets is something new. And why did you make those decisions, and what are the triggers for that?
Yeah, so it's basically what are the needs of the market, right? And you see people building stablecoin payment companies between Singapore, New York, and London. I mean, let's be honest, Swift works extremely well. So we've gone after the markets which are harder to move money around and get money in and out of. So the reasons are basically, you know, to be very blunt, you can still charge good money for those corridors, right? As opposed to as I say, Singapore, New York, and London. And I think the FX providers that have already got established companies trying to move money in and out of those regions are now ready to optimize on the costs. And they can take advantage of the stablecoin system. So you don't have to go through correspondent banks. You can use the blockchain. That's great. So yeah, it's basically servicing the needs of the market. And that's basically import, export, commodities brokers, PSPs. And we're getting into the the travel space
Oh
as
yeah,
well now.
travel is a sweet spot because there is a constant need for quite optimized move value and the store value. So yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, one of our founders, Panos, he was the global head of Fintech innovation at Agoda, which is Booking.com's sister company in Asia. So there's a guy with a massive amount of travel knowledge, and we can bring that to the ecosystem as well, which is great.
I think that can be put into the differentiator, because having the knowledge and experience dealing with the particular problems, because sometimes I think for startups, and that's for our viewers, you're assuming that you know real problems, but then when you try to deliver and kind of talk with your customer, you understand that you need to pivot, you need to shift your business model. So that's potentially is bringing really good feed into the execution and proper business model.
Yeah, I think that's it's covered by the kind of team differentiator there as well. I mean, again, that kind of knowledge of having the merchant with the problem in-house is, I think, really valuable, like you say.
Thank you for your time today and all the answers and sharing your experience. I think it will be really valuable to our visitors and listeners. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.